Let's do it. Art show, holiday special.
Yeah, the holiday party's here to begin.
Holiday special.
Yeah, getting special for your holiday. Getting special on your holiday. Getting special for the holidays.
All right.
Well, I guess everyone's here. The party can start now.
No one else is coming?
No, man, it's not that kind of party this year.
Oh, man. Sweet.
Yeah, it's just you and me. It's just you and me. You ready to get
And
drunk?
you guys. I am ready to get drunk, actually.
All right, let's have a
I took a
drink.
shot at the car.
All right. Well, I know you're a whiskey man, so
Yeah.
can I interest you in a glass of whiskey, my friend?
2 fingers of your finest grossed out bourbon, please, sir.
Will grossed out not to be grossed out?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Hey, I said 2 fingers.
Oh, well, I guess those are children's fingers, aren't they?
Well, I got little baby fingers, so it's all right.
All right. Well, we'll make it a man hand.
A man hand, there it is.
Is that man handly enough for you?
Yes, that is.
All right.
We did it.
Welcome, sir. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Mm.
Whoa.
Wow, nice. I'm glad we got over the sound issues.
Welcome, guys.
I hear
Hello.
that the sound is hearing now. You
Yeah.
can hear us.
Yes.
Cheers to sound.
Yes.
To sound.
That's a good sign.
Mm. Mm.
Wow. How has your year been?
Horrible.
Me too, actually.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. You've had a bad year too.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people out there have had some bad years. Bad year. 2020 is it's no good.
But we're ending the season, the year on a good note. We have a new president. We have a vaccine, and we have this fabulous artwork for this holiday special.
Special holiday.
Special. Happy holiday.
Happy holidays. Yeah, we're getting in that festive mood. I think we're gonna have to finish this whiskey by the time this.
Hey, we need to finish this
broadcast is
whiskey by the time this is over.
That's what's gonna happen. That's
Mhm.
what's gonna happen. So should we check out the art?
Yeah, let's check out the art.
Let's check out the art.
Oh man. So tell me about your new series. I'm really interested in a lot of them, especially this one that looks like we're under the sea.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so this series, it's God, I don't even know where to begin. There's so many things to talk about here. So over here in this area, we've got sort of the landscape ones of the series, and then as we progress this direction, we get some more sort of resting moments where you can just kind of sit and look at these pieces and just sort of take them all in. You could just, it may not have a lot of the details and the things, but you can sit and you can look at these and your mind sort of starts to fill in maybe details. Maybe you start to feel what's going on here. Like this one I call Under Pressure. It's like that's definitely the feeling of this year. Like we're not sure what's happening. We feel like we're under a lot of pressure and that sort of thing. As we walk down this direction, we get more of an organic feel. So these two are related. I call them both Organica 1 and 2. And they're sort of, inspired by like cellular levels. We've all been thinking about cellular levels this year, especially with viruses going around. Mm-hmm. So there's a little bit of that. This one I call hanging on by a thread. So many of us have been feeling that way a lot this year. And And then down here we got a couple of pieces from last year's series. You can almost see the difference. These two are also from last year's series. You can almost see the difference. Basically, color is the huge difference. Much brighter, intense colors here. And then one of the things that I brought in this year was I brought in some more pastels, and that way I could get a little more depth out of it. So let's go down here back towards those the landscapes, and we'll talk about those a little bit. Love how you were cueing into the under the sea vibe with like a stomach looking sort of thing, mm-hmm, or a heart. Mm-hmm. This one I call the sea aches because the sea has got a lot of turmoil underneath, just mm-hmm, like the rest of us do. It kind of speaks to that, but it's also it's got a bit of a peaceful look. But you could be swimming through there and feeling all kinds of good feels. But then you go all the way up to the sky up here, that sort of thing. This one is called the Winter of Reflection. So we've definitely all been doing some self-reflecting. And not only is it called that, but the water area itself has a layer of gloss on it, mm-hmm, that allows it even a little more reflection. So that's kind of a fun thing going on. This mountain range, I love how this one sort of works with this one really well with the little crazy line that comes through. I like to bring that like sort of like this sort of line in there. Because it kind of adds a little extra life to it, where so much of this is very hard edged, very stiff. I like to try and loosen up my paintings once in a while. I'll give them, I'll give them a lot of structure, but then there's got to be some kind of wild life element that kind of makes it feel like it's alive.
Definitely, I'm feeling like I'm like stuck in the jaws of something, and that's like a rope on my way out.
There you go. I call this one. I'm just something like I'm just staying in my cave. Thank you very much.
I really like this one too. It's like it's like I'm this close to just exploding right now.
Yeah,
it's
like. It's almost like this is the picture.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
That little spot between the fingers.
It's like I'm that close to just like blowing my shit.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the funny thing about the simplicity of pieces like this. And you see a lot of abstract pieces out there that are just like a line or something simple like these. And the thing about that kind of piece is. Some people are like, oh, all they did was like put one color on the page or put one line to it, and that's minimalism for you. And minimalism is how much you can do, how much impact you can have with very simple elements. I saw a documentary on origami, and there was a minimalist origami mindset that was like, how much can you do with one fold? I was like, one fold? Like, so that thing has always stuck with me. Whenever I think of something minimal, I think, how can you do something with just one beautiful line, two different colors, or something that like you can look at that and still be like pretty satisfied with what's going on there. So that's kind of where I'm going with some of that stuff. Is like is I like that bold minimalistic feel, like a Apple product. Mm-hmm. when you see the package, you're like, oh, the packaging looks so nice. It's so clean, so vacant. It's got the logo. It's got the things on there. So that's kind of the kind of mindset that I incorporate when I do a minimalist piece. Mm-hmm. So this is minimalist. This is more maximalist with all these extra details in here. Mm-hmm. And so I like to kind of go between the two and see how I feel. And sometimes I'll look at a piece and be like, well, how come it doesn't have all these other things going on? I'm like, you know what? I could just do another painting and make more things go on. It's okay. It's okay to just stop. It's okay. And that's one of the hardest things is being okay with stopping at something simple. That's one of the most risky, vulnerable places I can be because I know that so many people, including myself, can look at something and be like, that's like so simple.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's easy to just disregard that.
You have a hard time stopping sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes you have a hard time stopping because it feels more risky than going further. Because there's sort of a mindset that I have that says, oh, even though I've only gotten this far, this one's worth more because it's got more stuff in it. But that's not necessarily, true. That's just a battle that I have to deal with in my own head. So those things happen.
That's the art in it.
Yeah, that's the art in it, for sure. It's that balance that we keep going back and forth. Like, is it too much? Is it not enough? And we keep and I just keep working on that battle, for sure. I don't know. But what else? Any other questions that you got for me that you could think of?
I don't know. Tell me about this one. I just feel like I'm either just like coming out of a valley towards a sunrise or a sunset, or I'm just watching a planet, get its first rays of light. I mean, what inspired?
Well, that's a great question, and I love your view on that, your perspective, because this one is about that sort of thing. It's sort of that valley, and like looking beyond the valley, and it's that light at the end of the tunnel, kind of thing, and we're all feeling that right now. We're all feeling like looking for that light at the end of the tunnel, and like I heard someone say the other night, well, that light kind of let us see how dirty the tunnel is.
Yeah.
So but this is sort of a peaceful like light at the end of the tunnel sort of thing. You're looking beyond that mountainscape kind of thing, and so it's amazing how this can be a landscape just as much as that can be a landscape, but it also doesn't have to be a landscape. It plays with that that foreground background kind of thing going on.
Do any physical things like inspire you, or just like with the way that you do your art, do you just like tell me more about kind of that process? I guess it's like when I sit down, if I ever sit down to draw anything, I'm like I have an end in mind, but not the process there. It's just like what colors do I pick and stuff like that. So kind of what inspires your colors, what inspires.
Good question. Like good question. There's a lot of time when I'm making art is pre-making art. Like I think there was like a month or so at least of me just drawing sketches, looking up, like spending time on Pinterest every day, like kind of thinking about different ways that I can bring in colors, different color schemes that I can look at, and that sort of thing. Like there was a pressure for me, like I was like this year where I was like, oh, I want to get out there, but I'm almost afraid to go out and paint, like which is sort of weird for me because I'm pretty like, okay, let's do this, let's get this done, but this year was different for sure. With everything that we went through this year, I was, I was stumped. I didn't know why I wanted to make art. Didn't know if I wanted to make any art.
How did you stay inspired?
It was hard. Like there was a lot of time when I just didn't make art this year. I made probably the least amount of art this year. That I think last year for the show that we had here, made close to 30 pieces, maybe a few less, because I even had some small pieces. Yeah, and so this I just tried to, I just went with what I was comfortable with, and that's where we landed. But yeah, what was that question again? you know how it goes.
Yeah, just like you answered, what inspired the colors, and just basically when you're in a position where it's like I don't know what I'm gonna do, how do you get over that? I guess artist block.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, getting over artist block, you just gotta put that pencil to the paper and just start making some sketches, making a mess. Just go out and make a mess, and that's okay. And don't worry about it. Don't let it be like, well, because I do this, it has to be like dipped in gold, and it has to be perfect. And we gotta just kind of let that go.
Mm.
And you just kind of say, okay, let's just do something, just to get my brain moving. And that helped a lot to just kind of just start doing it. And I was like, I gotta make something.
Do
Gotta
something.
make something this
Do
year.
something even if it's wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's how we do it. And I never know what people are gonna like, if people want to buy this or not, and that's okay. But I'm gonna keep creating anyway and get it out there and see what happens.
Sharpen that tool.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm always learning something. I'm always learning something. This year,
Yeah.
I think it was learning to incorporate some lighter pastels. That was definitely big for me.
Yeah.
I went out and bought like 25 cans of pastel colors. It looked like I was shopping for Easter.
Let's talk about this one right here. This is this year's?
Yeah, this is
Yeah, this I really like. There's it just seems like it's so simple, but it seems like there's so many colors in it. But it's so simple, and it just all the colors seem striking.
Yeah. It's fun. I actually straight up stole this color palette, and I saw it on a piece, and I was like, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try doing that. So this is sort of an experimentation. It's not my usual color palette,
Mm-hmm.
but I was inspired by what I saw,
Mm-hmm.
this was one of the early ones that I did in this series, and I was just like, that is cool. That is cool. It's very simple, but it's got a good feeling to it. And then I liked all the shapes and the movement here, and so I simplified that color palette, kind of moved over here and did this.
Mm-hmm.
And this one feels really good. Like I said, it feels like the inside of the body, like cells
Mhm,
moving around.
mhm.
I almost came in here with tinier things to bring in there, like moving around too. But I was like, what, that's okay. We're good. We can stop right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This piece here, this one's from last year. This one was inspired by Miami. We went to Miami a few times for Art Basel, and when you go to Miami, this is the colors you see, the shapes you see, like bam, it's just all over the place right there. So
It's like that 80s wave.
yeah,
What
there's
is that called? Like that 80s.
like retro. I don't know.
That's like I don't know. There's a term for it, but it's like they got a lot of that pink and a lot of that 80s like
New wave.
new
New wave. Is that what you think it's?
something wave. I don't think it's new wave though. But
Okay.
anyways,
A lot of waves out there.
a lot of waves. Yeah. From Hawaii. I mean Miami.
Miami's got the waves.
Jeez,
Right.
that was so informative. And I know you guys probably have questions, and we want to answer those questions. But I have one burning question. Sam, where do we get this art?
SamTrout.com.
That was simple. That was so simple.
You can go there right now. You can sign up to be on my mailing list and hear about all future things into your email. And you go right to the homepage. Hey, and then all the pieces will pop right up there. All the prices, you can order them right now. Pieces will be in the mail by Monday. Or I might just be delivering them straight to your home.
Nice.
If you live in Seattle, that's quite a possibility. Yeah.
So I heard you have a video of you going through the process of you doing your artwork.
Yeah. We got a short video lined up for everyone to see a little bit of the process. So we're gonna watch that video, and you guys think of some questions. Go ahead and type them in the comments, and we'll hit up those questions when we get back after this.
Bayou, hit that.
So we're just gonna do a quick studio tour, the outdoor working studio. Here we go. It's an outdoor tent, very well ventilated. We've got the wall here, which you can see, the test wall where I test out how to paint something, test out colors, make sure that make sure the spray cans are working, test out techniques, uh, do entire paintings to where learning, figuring out how to do all these little things. Generally over here is where you would see lots of paintings lined up that were being worked on. None right now because they're all up inside in the studio or in the gallery area. And now I'm just going to show you a couple of quick things on the process. Here you can see a painting that I've got that is in the process, getting worked on. Um, oh, another thing I forgot to show you that's really fun is I've got this stack of stencils, and they're sorted so that I know where things are. Generally, I have little stencils in the front, bigger stencils in the back, and then they're kind of broken down into other such categories and whatnot. I'm gonna add a couple of small little dots to this one. It's one that I'm not completely finished with, but I do enjoy it. Working on this one, I feel like it's headed in a good direction. Inspired one of the other pieces that you'll see on the website. Always wear a ventilator. I'm probably not going to put this ventilator on so you can still hear me. Or maybe I will just for a second. All right. Gonna test it out over here. Make yourself more mistakes. This tip has seen better days. I can feel that it's a little sticky. So it's probably. So I just got to be careful. So here we go. Usually I just come in here, try to cover as much area of the painting with the stencil so I don't have a lot of spray coming off. And then I just kind of do something real light like that, you can see. And then if I want to cluster them up, I just do little clusters like this. You can see, oh, that's a little too clustery, so we're gonna break some of those up. Come out a little bit. Do some lighter ones in here. See, I did some lighter ones. And then I'll probably build it up a little more like this one here, where you get some different colors and dimensions to kind of let that stand out. Because still want to build a little bit more in the foreground here, like I've got over here. Gonna probably build that up, add some borders, that sort of thing. One of my favorite tools is this straight edge tool. I usually use it for finishing off the edge of the canvas. I'll show you that, and then probably end up, could end up painting over it, working on it again. But I generally start with the bottom edge first, and then I try to line up the top edge to match. And then come in here very carefully. Gotta be careful not to move my hand. Nice hard edge there. Doesn't really wipe it off. So I can do the other edges. But since this edge comes all the way down to the bottom, I have to let it dry before I can go this way. So I can do 2 edges at a time, then I have to come back, that sort of thing. So one of the things about this process is it does take it's fast, but it's also slow. Fast because when bam, like that color right there on the surface, like so quick, you get a nice flat even coating, which is something I just love. But you can also get some gradients, of course. But the slow part is sometimes can be a little bit in the drying process, especially in the winter when it's cold and damp. I'll generally do a couple things, and I'll move this over to the area where I said that's where all the paintings are usually drying. So I'll have to work on several paintings at once, because of this process. I can't just keep layering on things. If I do a big piece, like something that's really solid like this, I can't have my hands or another stencil touching it because it'll just pull the paint right off. So, you know, it takes time, but it allows that time when you're not working on it, I can reflect and I can look at it and say, is this working? Is there more that I need to do? Let's keep reevaluating. So generally, I've got, 8 to 10 paintings that I'm working on at a time, and I'm thinking about uh, what each of these things need, and uh, and just kind of fleshing them out a little bit at a time, and that's a huge part of the process. There's other parts of the process, but this is what goes on here in the studio, and I'm usually in here from 4 to 6 hours a day working on these paintings. I only have a certain amount of time during the day because it gets cold after about 4:30 or so, and yeah, yeah. But it also usually starts as a sketch too, so I'll show you some of those probably a little later. All right, thanks, and back to you guys in the gallery.
Ooh, that is some great hand control you have.
Thanks,
Um,
man.
just a reminder, guys, you can get all this stuff at samtrout.com.
.com, samtrout.com. It's just my name with a .com.
I mean, you should really be doing classes again. Didn't you do some classes before?
I did. The pandemic shut that down real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, last year around March, just right before March, I was just starting to put some classes together to teach a beginning spray paint class, and a few of you signed up out there, and we just had to put them on hold because it's too crazy. But we may be starting up again soon. Maybe doing some more some COVID safe protocols.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you guys all have masks on.
yeah, exactly. You're wearing a ventilator.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I'm gonna that I was thinking of just including in the price of admission anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You get a ventilator with your class, so then you got a fresh ventilator you take home with you, so you're ready to go.
Nice.
That kind of thing. So
nice. So let's get to know the man, the myth, the legend, the Sam Trout. So I guess what is the hardest part about creating a painting for you?
the hardest part.
The hardest part.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Like knowing where to begin, where to end. Like there's every time I start a series or a painting or something. I think there's definitely an initial fear, in there. There's definitely some like, hey, is this gonna turn out good? Is this gonna be good? But sometimes you just gotta go for it.
Yeah. I was just thinking that's exactly why I didn't start drawing. It's like people are gonna just laugh.
Huh?
Too scared. People are just gonna laugh at this stuff.
Oh man.
So I mean, yeah. So you said that you're where to begin, where to end. When do you actually know that you're like finished with a piece?
That's a good question. A lot of artists get that question a lot, and for me, there's just this point when. I mean, you sometimes you can I can revisit a piece like a few years later, and so sometimes a piece it is not done, or if I don't like it, I just paint entirely over it. But sometimes it just kind of has this like quality where you're like, oh yeah, there it is. And sometimes there's goals that I want to accomplish. Like there's things that I want to look a certain way. There's parts of the process that I need to do, and that's where that's when that's when you look at that and you're like, I couldn't put anything on that. I would just ruin it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just ruin that.
Yeah. Well, I guess it goes to my next question is like, what do your pieces like aim to say?
Well, that's a good question too. And that kind of depends on where I'm at and where I'm going. Often, I
Refresh you?
I mean, it looks like
I'm
we need to
going to.
refresh you.
I mean, I can do without offering.
The
Refresh you?
Have a drink, everybody.
Yes. So you can buy more art.
Yeah, everybody,
Yeah.
buy a little art here and there. Um, what was the question again?
It was what does your artwork aim to say? Like when you go into a piece
Yeah.
or a series, or does the whole series like aiming at one thing or one type of perspective, or it's just like or some of them sometimes individual or
With my own fine art that I'm doing, I usually try to tap into my emotions, especially when I'm working on the abstract work. Is I'm taking an emotion and putting it into a visual form.
mm-hmm.
A feeling, and that's where the abstract I think does its best work. Is it sits trying to capture that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could easily draw a person doing a thing, you know, and that's got an emotion right there, and you can identify with that. It's easy, but sometimes you got to sit with a piece, with an abstract piece, and kind of get that emotion from it.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a little longer. What you doing down there, Hosh? Hi, buddy. Our little Hoshi friends down here.
Do we have any questions from the audience at this point? Because I can keep
Yeah.
on going.
Sumit says, looks like the piece I bought still shows as for sale after purchasing, so there may be some order of purchasing stuff to work out. But he has dibs, he's bought that, so that one is not for sale.
Oh, the question is from Sumit is
Make
anybody trying to buy his piece of art because it's not for sale?
In the air up there is sold.
Maybe try reloading the page. I don't know.
So I got another question for you. What were your biggest influences, either now or then? Just all together.
Yeah. Like growing up, cartoons first and foremost for sure were definitely my biggest influence. Japanimation.
Oh, nice.
And
Akira.
Akira, you know it. That was our bonding moment.
Yeah.
That's how Jupiter and I really bonded over was Akira. We found out that we both loved Akira.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, Andy Warhol is a huge influence, and I loved his use of advertising and iconography and that sort of thing. But as I developed more and moved into the abstract, I sort of removed myself from using icons and literal things to translate what I was speaking about. And sort of as I went towards abstract, I kind of started to look at other contemporaries. There's a few people in town that really inspire me. Robert Hargrave is a great artist. His work is continually beautiful and inspiring. Erin Franklin, she also is amazing and inspiring.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So I guess that leads to when did your love for art really begin?
I mean, early. I remember as 7 years old, I can distinctly remember sitting at a friend's house drawing and thinking, wouldn't it be cool to be paid to draw? So I'm living out that childhood 7-year-old
That's great.
fantasy, man.
That's great.
That's it,
When I was a kid, man, I wanted to be a police officer. Not anymore.
I'm glad you're not the boy in blue, man.
Yeah. So, I guess are you following any specific trends right now, or?
Well, there is a post graffiti graffuturism. Is one of the trends that I follow. That's very similar to what I'm doing. It uses graffiti style techniques,
Okay.
but kind of goes off in its own direction. It's not tags. It's not throw up pieces that have someone's name or anything of that sort. It has a vibe that says oh yeah, you're using spray paint. It's kind of wild. It's out there. That sort of thing.
Nice. So, when I look at anything, I see like pink, orange, blue, or white, you know. But what are the actual names of the colors that you are using? I think that's pretty interesting to know.
Mm-hmm. So all the spray paint cans, they all have their individual names, and they come in so many shades. Like when I go and buy a color, I can't just buy one color. I have to buy the darker version of that color, the lighter version of that color, and they all kind of have these names that kind of go together, sort of thing. This prominent greenish blue color that's in this piece over here, it's called nappies. It's one of my favorites. And I just love nappies. I love that. Man, it's so good. It's so good. But this time around on my on some of these pieces, let's see. Tiffany was a big color. It was a light blue. Let's see. What are some of the other colors? Our friend Janice, she sent me a can. She gave me a can of blue that's in the
Nice.
the winter
Nice.
reflection.
Shout out to
piece.
Janice. Hey.
Yeah. RPM Ninja.
Yeah. You did some artwork for her frisbee club.
For her recent frisbee tournament.
Yeah.
Furies of the Fort is what she called it.
Nice.
Do we have a
I
question?
have a question. Sumit asks, can you talk about Travis Scott's influence on your work?
So Sumit says, can we talk about Travis Scott's influence on Sam Trout's work? So let's hear this. I'm out of this. I'm out of the loop here, apparently. So
Apparently, but you know who Travis Scott is,
I
right?
know who Travis Scott is.
Travis Scott's a rapper, a hip hop rapper. And it's actually what Sumit loves Travis Scott. He's a big fan.
Good job making this about you, Sumit.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
job.
He had turned around. He had slide to my DM.
Fair question.
You know,
I see you working out. I see you pumping it up, Sumit.
and they went like back a couple years ago. He was like, "Have you heard of Travis Scott?" Every time we came together, he's like, "Have you heard of Travis Scott?" And I was like, "Do you know how often you've asked me that question?"
I think we should pull together and get Sumit a Travis Scott CD.
Oh yeah, everybody send Travis Scott
To
to
Sumit.
Sumit.
Yes, but not actually Travis Scott.
Yeah.
You should do people who are doing covers for Travis Scott.
Oh yeah. Or covers of Travis Scott.
Yeah, covers of Travis Scott. So he doesn't really get it, but he gets it.
Yeah.
All right. So, here we got a couple more questions for you. Showing art is makes you vulnerable. It makes me vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not good at it, so I don't do it.
No, you try to be quiet.
I embarrass easily. So what does that type of vulnerability mean to you?
You know that's a good question. Every time I put out a piece of art, there's a little like, do I put this on the internet?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a little bit of that. Usually I'm just like, okay, let's do it. Got to get it out there. Got to keep that. You know, like there's a part of me that's a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm a businessman.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Just like Jay-Z, I'm a
Cheers to
businessman and I'm a business
Man.
But you know, the part of vulnerability and putting yourself out there, that's just how you like. You gotta conquer that somehow
Mm-hmm.
as an artist, and you just put it out there. And the thing is, most of the time, people are gonna come back and tell you did a good job.
Yeah.
Most of the time, even if you did a crappy job, because most of the people that are gonna tell you did a good job are your friends. So it's gonna, it's gonna go good. It's gonna go good. You're like, all right.
More Jay-Z reference, brush that shoulder off.
Yeah, you gotta brush that dirt off your shoulder. Okay.
Nice.
You know,
Nice.
I think, but genuinely, like, I know that people like my art. You know,
Yeah.
people that I've never met before have told me they like their art. You know, here's a good story. I took a class once, and one of the things.
You've only taken one art class?
I'm not talking about art class. I'm talking about another kind of class.
Okay.
I was in a class, and the class was talking about making sure that you are complete with your communication with other people, and if there was anything that you felt that you needed to, you know, like say to somebody, and then we were at that point, and then at the break, this girl comes up to me and she's like, "I feel like I gotta say something to you," and I was like, "Really?"
Ooh.
And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And she goes, "I got a tattoo of your work." And she goes, like, right here.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And I was like, "Whoa!" And it was
Like right here?
like right here.
So you signed her boobie. That's what you're saying. You signed her boobie.
Somebody signed her boobie.
Okay.
But with my arm.
Well, I mean,
She had
by
one-
proxy.
By proxy, it was me.
Yeah.
But it was a T-shirt that I had done years ago, and
That's great.
yeah, and it was funny because one of the things that I like to say is I'm really good at manifesting things, and right, just like a month before that or within that month, I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if somebody like got a tattoo of my work?
Nice.
And then she came up, and I was like, there it is. Somebody got a tattoo of my work.
You can be like, man, I fest.
yeah, for show.
Yeah. So, kind of back to the whole Jay-Z reference. Business. I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
How have you developed your career over the years?
That's been one that's taken some time for sure. Let's see. So, straight out of college, I got to work at a local weekly newspaper as the art director up in Anchorage, Alaska. Anchorage Press. Shout out to the Anchorage Press.
Anchorage Press in the house? Maybe not.
But it was a wonderful few years. It was like, I'll remember those years for the rest of my life. And started out there. I put the whole newspaper together. I drew the cover every week. Drew several illustrations inside. So that kind of thing gave me my speed that I have. Like I'm very quick and production mindset. Like we gotta get this thing out every week. We gotta put out a. It wasn't a very big thing. It was a 35-page paper. So that was there. But then I moved to Seattle and I said, I'm gonna go to Seattle, and I'm gonna figure out how to be an artist. I'm gonna freelance illustrate. I'm gonna do that sort of thing. So when I first moved to Seattle, which was in September 2000, that was when I first moved to Seattle.
Okay.
I worked at the Seattle Weekly for about a few months, maybe 4, 5, 6 months, and then I was like, and then I was freelancing after that, and I took some knowledge that I got from working at the college radio station. And when I worked at the college radio station, I was the music director. And one of the things you gotta do as a music director is you gotta talk on the phone to all these different music companies. So I just took that same idea and I was like, well, I'm just gonna get on the phone and start calling newspapers. So I was on the phone every day calling newspapers like, hey, you need an illustrator? Like, let me send you my work. And I sent them my work, and a lot of no's, a couple of maybes, some yeses, and then the maybes and the yeses, I would check back in with them every few months and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And that sort of got there. Then I started making these coasters, actually.
Oh.
And I took those illustrations.
Coasters.
There's Lily's favorite.
Apparently, shout out to Lily.
And I took those illustrations that I had been drawing, freelance illustrator, and I put them on these coasters, and I started selling those down at Pioneer Square. And then I kind of got into the market of like being an artist, taking stuff to markets. I used to run a market called I Heart Rummage down at the Crocodile Cafe, which is the Belltown location. I hear is closed. And then from there, I made T-shirts and I still freelance here and there and that kind of thing. And you just gotta keep hitting up those opportunities. One of the best things that one of my favorite mottos that I've given myself is every time you leave the house, something happens. And I know that's really general and silly,
It's
but
good. No,
it's
it's
so
good.
true.
It's good.
And the fact that
It's
we
good.
all have to be quarantined, man, that just puts that like
Yeah.
that just makes it so true because nothing you just feel like nothing happens
Yeah,
when you're
yeah,
you're not going out, and you know every month first Thursday come along and I go out and I look at the art and I would see things and I get comments from people like, oh, I saw your art online, I saw this, I saw that, and you know that encourages me anytime I get to hear from people and hear their work. That just like fuels my fire and I get to make more stuff and I'm like, yeah, man, that proves that I'm going in the right direction.
Right.
And
right.
so I mean I've had many times doubts like, oh, I gotta stop this, I gotta do something else. I mean, I feel like that every year. I'm not gonna say I don't,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, I'm 45. What do I do now? I got to
Yeah.
start over a whole new career.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I continually, boldly, maybe in a ridiculous way, keep pressing forward.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Absolutely, you got to. I mean, it's 2020. It's the year of pressing forward. No matter what.
It really
Um,
is. Do we have a question?
No new questions, but Rachel, my sister, just ordered Beyond the Valley, and she's beyond excited about
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Rachel,
Yeah.
my sister.
Zoom, it said, nice. That was my other favorite.
All right.
So running a business is really hard.
It is.
Not only that, you run a business that sells a piece of yourself. So sometimes you get good things and sometimes you don't. How do you deal with the criticisms that come along with that when someone not only just is indifferent to it, but just says, "Hey, I don't like it." How do you deal with that type of criticism?
You know, and that I said, well, that piece isn't for you. That's not for you then.
It's great.
You know, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like I have a friend that when I started going to abstract, he said, you know, I don't really like the abstract stuff, and that's exactly what I said. I was like, but that's okay, because those pieces aren't for you.
That's a great way. That's a great way. So let's talk about your public projects. I know you've done a few.
I have those.
Are some of them still up? I don't know how that works out. Do they have a term or whatnot?
Well, there are some that are temporary public art, and then there's some that are permanent public art. All my temporary stuff gone now. Oh, except the one that's outside of Urban Outfitters.
On Broadway.
Broadway.
Go to Broadway, check it out.
Broadway, and is it John or some?
I think it is John. Is it right?
Republican.
Broadway Republican, yeah.
Right next to the QFC there.
Yeah. Or the Urban Outfitter.
Yeah, it used to be Urban Outfitters,
Oh,
but
not
the
anymore?
QFC. No, it's gone. The
Oh, God.
QFC is gone.
I used to love that place.
Oh yeah. You know, you get all your cool hip stuff there. It's
Nice,
not a
nice,
hot
nice.
topic.
It's not a hot topic.
If
Not anymore. So I wish you guys had more questions out there, but I can keep on going because I have a lot of boring questions. So, do you do any custom paintings?
Oh, wait, I didn't finish answering your
Oh,
last question.
Let's.
I didn't finish that.
Okay.
If the permanent public work, I do have a couple pieces that are permanent. They're going to be there for the long term until they completely die. When I did my Shoreline Street Ends project, I made a bunch of stools to sit on, and made some bike racks and some signs that are street signs that are in there. Those are out all over the place.
Nice.
If you see a thing that says Shoreline Public Access and it looks like a neighborhood or some mountains or something, yeah, I did that.
Oh,
It's
nice.
a street sign.
Nice.
But if you go to Allison Street, which is just off of East Lake, East Lake near East Lake Bar and Grill on Allison Street, you can go right down there. You can see three of the seats that I made. There's some bike racks I made, and even designed a stain that goes on the cement down there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was pretty fun to do all that. Very cool project. That was the biggest project I've had that's like public artwork that's going to be out there. It was a long process. It was supposed to be a 6-month process. It turned into like 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long project.
And maybe more more like 5 years.
So you have
Long.
it sounds like 2 projects out right now that are still available to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see the Urban Outfitters mural, and you can see those.
The one in Shoreline.
No, it's not in Shoreline. It's along the shoreline.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Okay.
the shoreline of Lake Union,
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's where it is. You guys go to
Allison Street, and East Lake.
on East Lake, and then you also go to what is it? Broadway
And Republican.
and Republican.
So
Check
it's
out
not-
his artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it sounds like we got some questions from our audience. Let's hear one.
Okay, Todd Weir asks, "Hey Sam, are you available all week for me to pick up a piece?"
Heck yeah! Come on by, Todd Weir. You can totally pick up a piece.
All the anytime. Come get it.
Kevin Tice asks, "Are you going to work again with any nearby cities? What's your next project?"
Wow, my next project. Well, one of the things that I'm working on is trying to get prints made of as much of my work as possible. We had Luke Walker come in, and he took some pretty fabulous photos of the work that you saw. So there may be in the future some prints made of work. I gotta pass it by the people who do the printing and make sure that they're up to snuff, and that they're large enough and big enough. So we'll see. Things are in the work there. I don't have any grants yet. I'm always applying to grants, always looking for good ones. If anyone out there knows of anything, if they have a project that they think, oh yeah, you would be great for this project, please hit me up. I'm always looking for new projects.
Okay. Brandy asks, "Can you tell me more about One Lovely Moment? It's enchanting, like you, sweet Sammy. P.S. So proud of you."
Let's see.
Santa Claus over here.
One lovely moment.
We don't have it hanging up there. It's
Oh, I think that is that one right there. I guess.
no.
Well, guys, we figured that out. I'm
yeah.
going to drink
Yes,
for you.
that one. Here we go. Yes, this one. One lovely moment. This piece right here. This piece, this is a serious moment that I could never do again. And I know that this looks simple. This is one brush stroke right here. That's why I call it one lovely moment, because I just took that brush and I just went back and forth, and I have tried.
It looks very serene.
Yeah, I have tried to redo that brush stroke or anything like that. It doesn't come out the same.
No.
It doesn't come out the same. That's what is so unique about this piece. And there's something I really like about how simple.
There's like a water essence to this.
Yeah.
Definitely a fluidity to it.
It almost you almost have that fall
Mhm.
kind of thing. But yeah, like you can, literally you can see like the brush stroke, and it's just.
All your art is just really great and just really thoughtful.
Oh,
I
thanks,
really
man. That's really kind of you to say. It's really kind of you to say. It's been a year where I've had a whole lot of doubts about making art.
Mm-hmm.
And why can I? How can I be making art when there's all this injustice in the world and with all this idiocy going around? It's been hard to just do that.
Have you ever thought about doing like pieces in reference to those things?
Definitely. I did a piece. If you check out my Instagram, I did a 2020 portrait. Mr. Kit Newman, who's out there, I hope. I did a piece where I drew a portrait of him, and I incorporated so many things about the craziness of 2020, and that one's in there. But all this series, it's definitely like we were talking about before. There's lots of feelings that are referenced in those pieces.
All right. Kevin Tice asks, Any collaborations with any other local artists? Henry? Question mark. That's
Well,
a good one.
I love collaborating with local artists. That's always a good time. There's, I don't have anything lined up, but I think the last, I'm always collaborating with my girlfriend by Angermeyer. She and I work together. We talk about our own work. I sometimes I help her with her work. She helps.
Is it some of Bayou's work here?
Yeah, look at that.
We got Christmas slug. Shout out to WKL slug.
Everybody
Slug.
Everybody- Well, Kevin Tice did ask another question. Can you tell us how amazing Bayou is?
That's on our next special episode. Or it's the
Next
regular
one.
one. We don't know yet. This is our first special. Figuring that out.
Yeah. We'll see you for the Valentine's special.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That'll be by.
Yeah. She's going to make custom-made clay condoms.
I am.
Well, I mean, one size fits some.
Alan Stein has a question. Was there someone whom pushed you to do fine art?
Alan Stein.
Also, what if I eat myself? Would I become twice as big or disappear completely?
From Alan Stein. That is quite the paradox of the question, Alan Stein. How far is your mouth away from your butt? Is really the question. Because you have to get rid.
Start here.
I mean, that's how you eat an elephant, a bite at a time.
Yeah.
So you'll digest it, and then you excrete it.
Right. And then so you got.
Well, you have to work out with it. You have to work out and then grow more. So I mean.
No, but then you would heal.
No, but then you can take the poop and then plant it back on your hand.
Oh, definitely no. That's not happening. It's not recycled.
I mean,
You're not recycling
this
yourself.
planet should be about recycling.
Yeah, but not yourself. Okay. We're gonna move on from that.
Okay, let's move on.
Was there someone
was the
that pushed you to do fine art? Oh, God.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers to
Give me
that.
a refill.
Oh no, I you guys are gonna be sorry.
No one really pushed me into fine art. I think that was my own choice, and if I were like, it's just one of the things that I feel it helps me, and it's the truest expression of me when I'm doing the fine art side of things.
Yeah.
And when I practice fine art, I don't care if people buy it. I mean, I love if people buy it, but my very first thing is that I'm expressing myself and that I'm like putting myself in there and I'm doing something that I like. And sometimes I like it, not always. It's okay. It's okay to not like your own work. It's like when you're taking pictures, not every picture turns out perfect.
Yeah.
You sort through like hundreds of pictures and then you're like, oh, this is a gem, and this is a gem, and this is a gem.
1 out of 1,000.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. And that's how it is with painting and all kinds of work too.
So what you're saying is your course art doesn't sell as well as your fine art that you can get on samtrout.com.
My course art?
Course fine.
Course and fine.
Dad jokes.
This guy,
Yeah.
Mr. Dad Jokes.
Do we have any more questions over there?
Another Kevin Tice question.
That man, he's got the questions.
Yeah.
He's good with the questions.
Have you ever painted when you were just really mad or sad? What were the results?
Yes.
That's a great question. Thank you, Kevin Tice.
Yeah.
Good question.
Mad and sad produce great art for sure.
Oh, it creates great things.
Yeah.
Like angry proses, angry sex. It's great. It's great. It's great.
Yeah. I've definitely. I mean, most of this work, I did while I was kind of sad. Like I've been kind of sad this year, and
I feel that.
For sure. And I put a lot of that emotion into it, and just making that work makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cathartic.
for sure. It's
Yeah.
therapy. Art is therapy.
Yeah, artist there
And
for sure.
and I could help somebody. If I could be an art therapist if someone needed to be. If someone wanted to go to an art therapy, I could help them work through that. Because abstract work is very much art therapy.
I mean, that's just a plug for your class.
Yeah.
Art therapy. Get it? SamTrout.com. Schedule it. Do it.
Oh.
Exactly. Do you have another question?
Kevin's daughter, Olivia,
Hey,
has
Olivia.
a question. She wonders how often you are painting.
Wow, that's a great question. Now it comes in spurts. Sometimes, so when I was painting this series, it was like 4 to 6 hours a day, every day. Monday through Friday for like a month or so, a little more, maybe a little more than a month. But then there's all these other things when you're making art and be in a business of making art. There's all these other things that you have to do, like producing this right here that we're doing. I've been working on this all week.
Yeah.
Learning how to use the software, making sure everything was set up, like thinking about what we're gonna do. So I couldn't paint this last week,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's other times when I have to take care of other clients and that sort of thing. So it's almost like it comes in cycles. But I try to make something quite a few times a week, and it doesn't have to be a painting. It could be a drawing. I could be drawing on my iPad.
Mm-hmm.
I could be
Just something.
just something,
Just something.
and if I'm not,
It's like exercise, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like exercise. You got to keep it going, and it keeps those skills improving, and it keeps you in shape.
Is there anything specific like you're working on right now as far as technique or something like that?
Always techniques. I think the techniques that I'm going for next, I may be doing some more computer generated art that I can offer as prints, sort of thing, because we're Bayou and I are about to move out of this house.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is I gotta tear down my studio outside.
Oh God.
Yeah, so that's a shame. So
That
so
is a big
these
shame.
these pieces that were produced could be some of the last paintings that are produced in that studio.
Yeah.
And if
That
we're-
makes them rare.
yeah, if we're lucky enough to find a place where I can still have that studio, then we're gonna be great. But in this between time, I'll probably be doing a lot of work on the iPad, drawing some things, doing thinking about those next steps and whatnot. So I'm always working on something. We have another question from the audience.
Yeah, Jules asks, do you listen to different music styles depending on the mood of each piece?
Wow. Our man Jupiter had that very same question in his mind.
Thanks.
So thank you very much.
Great minds think alike. Hey, Jules.
And it's not necessarily the piece necessarily, but more the mood that I'm in.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm listening to things that just rock out, and sometimes I'm listening to just some hip hop or something. Sometimes I listen to some Afro pop or some electronica or something. Whatever's going on out there.
So do those influence your lines?
They some days
Yeah.
maybe a little bit. Mostly they influence my attitude and state of being.
Okay.
Really, like they either calm me down or hype me up, or like one of the fun things that I like to do when I'm out in the studio is I turn on something that like I just need to rock out to, and I dance around and I'm like.
We all need a little bit of dancing time.
Yeah.
We all need a bit
Yeah,
of
and I'm
dancing
just
time.
like, and with when I'm wearing the respirator,
Mhm.
I can yell at that and nobody can hear me. I'm like, so I'm just rocking out like, like the neighbors probably don't hear me. Probably.
Probably.
What, Chanel? Can you hear me yelling?
Probably not.
I hope not.
So, do we have any more questions? Because I have a question.
Yeah, we do. First of all, I want to say Brandy is she's now the proud owner of One More Lovely Moment.
Brandy, this is for you.
Sumit said presumably
Oh,
it's mostly Travis Scott that you're listening to.
No.
Maddie Casey asks,
No speak.
also, is Jupiter wearing highlighter? Can we get a tutorial?
What's highlighter?
I think
You mean
because
highlight?
you have you have these like glowing cheekbones.
Am I just glowing?
He is quite glowing. Maybe, are you sweating? Are you sweating a lot? Are you
I
sweating?
mean, I don't sweat the technique,
He glows. He
I
doesn't
just
sweat, he
glow.
glows. He glows.
so you
He's
know.
just glowing.
You know.
But he's got some, he's got a little something on
I'm a
him.
little shiny. Right. I'm a light.
Do it over there. Come here. We got a little barking dog over there. Come on back.
Oh, I
Come on,
don't-
come here. Come here, buddy. Come sit on my lap. Oh. Never mind. All right.
All right. Since that was a weird segue, so we'll go to this. Do you have any advice for yourself, younger self, or for any aspiring artists?
You know, one of the things that I wish I had done was I wish I had gone to like a fine art school
Mm-hmm.
and gotten like a master's in art or something. Like I feel there's like a level that like you can almost
I literally always thought that's what you went through.
yeah I was
in our school and stuff. Your stuff is amazing to me.
oh thanks man thanks I really appreciate that makes me feel
SamTrout.com, get your shit.
But I was actually an art minor
Okay.
and an advertising major because our school didn't have a graphic design degree because that's
Okay.
what I really wanted, and I was like, well, those
Sounds
two
like it was
things are
beneficial to you,
gonna
though.
inform each other
Yeah.
and be the graphic design degree. That was me making up graphic design degrees. So
Nice. The advice to your younger self.
advice to younger self. You know, that would be a thing. Like think about colleges, think about, you know, like really look into it because I didn't. I just went to my local college and I was like I'm too lazy to look into other
Mhm.
colleges. I don't even know what I want to do. No, I want to be a graphic designer, I guess. Like I kind of think that was what I want to do, but
Invest in yourself, young ones.
invest in yourself. Take classes. You know, I still take classes online. I'm always learning things off of YouTube. I love the fact that YouTube has always got things going on.
Sweet.
Yeah. So we got another question from online. What else? We got?
Okay.
Question time.
Maddie asks, are these pieces your preferred size or do you like bigger pieces?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, this
Sorry.
guy. This guy.
Sorry.
This guy.
You guys made me drink. This guy.
This guy. I love
Bigger's better.
bigger is better. I love to work big.
Yeah.
This series, this smaller. I created this for, you know, the holiday time so that you can have something affordable either for yourself or for someone else that you love and like. And you know, I like to have some pieces out there that are small and affordable. But I would much rather produce pieces that are at least this size or bigger.
Yeah.
The bigger the better, because that's where my work really works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is because I want you to climb inside that work.
I really wish you guys could see this piece over here that's against this wall. It is beautiful. It is great. It is just so much going on, and I love it. And also this other black and white piece, the
one that my dad now has.
yeah, the graffiti piece. Oh my gosh, that is one of my favorite pieces too, along with the ones against the wall that we can showcase during the exhibition.
But you can still see at SamTrap.com.
Yeah, see it on Snapchat. What is that like?
The growth spots pieces that you were talking about.
Yeah.
So those started with some sculptures that I made that are on the ceiling, and then those are all about like the areas inside of us that need growth.
Yeah.
And those are like, and trying to take those areas of growth and put them into a picture.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you were to grow compassion, what does compassion look like? And what is it made of? Compassion's made of like listening and energy and and like enjoying other people,
relationship.
and communication and those sort of things. And then I took those sort of elements and put them, take a ball and put and try to make communication visual.
Wait.
It's complex. You know what I'm saying?
Don't cry. It's okay. Don't cry. I know it gets emotional. Don't cry. And are we ready for another question? Okay, we got another.
So the growth spot pieces, those are all about areas inside of us that need growth.
Yeah.
Another question you got?
Yeah, Luke Walker asks, "Are you going to do any more sculptural work anytime soon?"
No questions from Luke.
Yeah, right.
I'm kidding.
Sculptural pieces. I don't have a big plan for sculptural pieces right now. I love doing sculpture, but
He beats him up with his Oculus, is what happens. If you guys, this is an inside thing. Luke would know. Anyways.
we have some sculptures hanging up my ceiling, and
Yeah.
I was playing Oculus, and like,
Yeah.
bam,
He Sharukin that shit.
bam,
Yeah.
I hit it,
Yeah.
knocked out.
But they are beautiful and they are great. And
Thank you.
oh my gosh. Yeah, they're in a perfect spot. I mean, because the artist put them there. Anyways, samtrout.com. Don't forget to go there.
Okay. Alan Stein asks, "What's the biggest you've done?"
The biggest I've done, the largest format piece is probably the mural that's currently on Broadway. That's the largest, longest mural I've done. I don't think it's big enough. That's for sure.
That's what she said.
Hey, not to me though.
You guys should stop making me drink.
No, keep making this boy drink. He keeps coming up with good questions and good answers.
Yeah. We got more questions?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes, I got questions.
Alan Stein asks, "Do you really need a swimming pool to play Marco Polo?"
No.
Then that's
One back to you.
Okay, so back to the question we had like maybe 30, 20 minutes ago. Do you do custom paintings?
Definitely do custom paintings.
Nice.
The way that I like to work with custom paintings is I like you to come to me knowing what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come to me asking me to do someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's like I would have to relearn and I would have to move myself.
So I have an idea in my
head.
head.
And do this thing.
I have an idea in my head, right?
Uh-huh.
So I want you to do me and my niece. And
Well, that's my wheelhouse though.
Yeah. So I want you to do me and my niece. You could do that, but just don't tell you how to do it. Tell me about that.
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
We can have ideas about it, and those are good things.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you about my capabilities. And usually it's a discussion back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we do this? How are we going to accomplish what something that you want, something that I enjoy making?
Mm-hmm.
If it comes to a point where it's something that I'm not going to enjoy making this, and it's not something that feels right, I'm going to tell you. Like, maybe you're going to need to find someone else to do it, or I'm going to tell you I can do this part, or I could do it like this, and
So I can ask you for a 12 by 12 of Be My Niece with like 1200 DPI, all dots.
No, I'm not a pointillism.
All right. Granted. Good.
I mean, if we did it digital and I had,
I'm gonna have to charge you by dot. We will charge you by dot.
Yes, 50 cents a dot.
50 cents a. That's harsh. Can I get 10 cents a dot? 10 cents a dot. I'm the homie, bro. I'm the homie.
True.
Okay.
True.
Yeah.
10 cents a dot for this man right here.
Yeah. All right. Man, you guys stole some of my questions tonight.
That's good. That's good because
so
they were thinking what you were.
They were
and
thinking
you
what I was
were
thinking,
saying, and you were
and
like, when I come up with questions, I want to come up with questions that other people are going to be thinking about. So I think I think you're doing a good job.
well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you've been real wonderful host tonight. Is there any other questions?
Co-host. Thank you for inviting me to be a co-host. I do have one more question, and this is probably the last question for me, unless in our conversation we have more questions. But what brings you joy?
Man, what brings me joy? I mean, I definitely, when I'm out there painting and I feel good, like that's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing. Seeing friends. I miss seeing friends.
I miss you guys too.
I get choked up. All the people that have been commenting and watching. I miss all of you.
See, the thing about being an introvert is I have small circle of friends, and I get to see those small circle of friends. But this guy here, his big circle of friends, they has to truncate to small circle of friends.
That's true.
Yeah, so.
That's true. And it's been an interesting year for that, for sure. And I for a portion of this lockdown, I was like, you know what? Good. I was tired of going out, tired of seeing people,
tired of clubbing,
tired of the parties. I just need to sit down and do some work, and just needed to relax. And at the beginning of the year last year, I was like, I want this year to be different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Oh God, me too.
I'm everybody. I'm sorry that I manifested this year.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry I manifested the difference that I wanted to see.
That was everybody.
It was different. And I need.
Oh, so different.
But I'm definitely ready. I'm definitely ready to see some people again.
Yeah.
I would love to see people.
I mean, it's always great seeing you.
It is.
It's great seeing.
I'm glad that you're in my bubble.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to sit here with masks and stuff. Like you practically live here.
Yeah. He helped me with my surgery, so that's we're kind of tight knit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
so he recently had surgery on his elbow, his right elbow here. How's that doing?
Oh, thank you. I totally flinched. Please don't hit me twice for flinching. That was the worst.
I'll hit you in the other arm.
That was the worst. Thank you for that. That was the worst. It's like, please don't. But I wanted to talk about my bruising that you guys won't see. I wish we could just get a skit of that. But it is like there's a lot of your color palette of my bruising. And I feel very involved in your artwork.
Yeah, you're in it. Man.
You're in it. Yeah, I felt like you thought of me. You like it's just like predetermined. You thought of me. It's like we were friends before we were friends.
It's true. That statement right there, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. We were friends before we were friends. We just happened to come together at a certain moment.
At the perfect time.
At the perfect time. At the perfect moment when I got you out on third.
That is all. I remember you. And I was totally gonna do a cartwheel, but you ran up and did not throw the fucking ball. WKL, shout out.
I think I did throw the ball.
No.
No, I got you.
You got me. You got me. No, you did throw the ball.
I think I did.
Fuck you. You threw the ball.
I
think you fucking got me. Anyways, I missed kickball. I missed. It was. I fucking jumped on you.
Yeah, you
was
gave
so
me a big
mad.
hug after that.
I gave you the biggest hug. I was like, you got me out. This nerd got me out. Fuck that shit.
We went straight up friends after that.
Yeah,
for real. Before that game, I was like, "Oh, I see you, man. You seem cool. What's up, man? How you doing? Welcome to the league." By the time that game ended, we were friends for sure. We were friends for sure.
I remember that game because you guys tried to get our whole team drunk. You gave us the whole Gatorade keg of alcohol. And literally, we went first. We did a fighting taunt. And you guys did a fighting taunt with a fucking ring. Yeah. I was like, what?
Go big.
Come on, man. So our team is not known for taunts. Our taunt was fucking good. And only you guys could ever... Only you guys could ever upstage us. It's okay. I get passionate about this.
I know you do. I know.
Okay.
It's okay.
I love you, WKL.
that was your rookie year. That was a brand new team.
Oh yeah, it was so
Yeah.
fun. It was my favorite year. I just like there's just so many things to talk because we're on our show. It's like I had never had an outlet to just like
Be crazy and do
be
the
crazy
thing.
and creative and just like here's my idea.
Yeah.
Take this
let's
and
do
run
this,
with it. Let's do
this.
this. And it was
Sure.
just like so amazing. And that's why I
First year
just,
is always the best year
Yeah.
for anything.
yeah.
Anything. And yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. Well, any more questions? Should we wrap it up?
yeah.
SamTrout.com, you know?
Sam Trout.
Make sure to pick up a
Come
piece
check
of
it out.
art. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Cheers to Jupiter for coming by.
Here's the Sam Trout.
And being there. We
.com.
really love having you guys all here, having you here. Thanks to Bayou for
Mhm.
doing all
Bayou
the
doing most
behind
of the work.
scenes.
Yeah.
Bayou must
thank
you come say hi, Bayou. Come say hi, Bayou.
Big thanks to Luke Walker
I'm not
for
prepared to be on
taking
camera.
photographs. Oh,
Hi.
thanks to Kayla
Thanks
for
for
letting
all the
us the
comments.
microphone. So that
Thanks
we could,
for Roka for being the dog on set.
The dog on set.
Hey, we love you guys. Thanks for coming and joining us. Happy holidays to you. Best wishes. A lot of grace in this next new year because we're gonna need it. Because it's gonna be a long fight.
We still got a ways to go.
Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
We're still locked down at least till June.
Hmm
You know, I mean, not everybody's getting that vaccine right away.
Yeah. So keep on keeping on with all of your precautions and your COVID things. You know what I'm saying? So thanks for joining us. We love you. We appreciate you. And
And cheers to this year being over. Cheers to 1/20/2021.
that's the date to go.
That's the date.
That's the date to commemorate.
That's the date to commemorate. He's coming in. It's a palindrome as well. Don't forget that.
Mhm.
1/20/20/2021.
We love you guys. Peace out. Good night.